Hey guys, Ash here from C4 Tech and welcome to another episode of Ash Hands. Wait, the whole answers thing feels very 2015. So welcome to Weekends with Ash. So we're doing things a little differently. So this is going to be an episodic show going forwards. I'm going to go live with it on Saturday, where I'll be summing up everything that's happened in tech over the last week. Not everything that's happened in tech, but things that I found interesting, giving you my opinions on what I felt about things that news that has broken over the past week. So at the end of the video, I'm also going to have a segment where I take your questions. So you can tweet out at me with the hashtag WWAsh. So that's what we're going to be using for this, WWAsh. Simple, just tweet out your questions and I will pick them and answer them the next week. So that's basically how it's going to be. With all that said and done, let's jump into what's been happening. First off, if you've hated the fact that you needed to carry a separate charger or at least a separate cable for your iPhone, now that might change very soon. The EU, this is news that broke a while back where the European Union had said from 2024, all devices like handhelds, like phones, tablets and so on, needed to have USB Type-C for charging. This meant Apple had to switch by 2024. Now the pressure is increasing. Even Brazil is considering doing the same. With Brazil, it's not for all devices, just for phones, not for tablets or something. But then again, Apple have been moving towards Type-C for their tablets anyway. So hopefully very soon we should start seeing iPhones with Type-C. If rumors are anything to go by, Apple's already working on it. The testing is underway. Maybe not with the iPhone 14 series, but maybe with the 15, if they decide to name it that way. But hey, so that's some good news. From there, from Apple, let's jump on over to Samsung. The Galaxy S23 series, we've been hearing a little bit about it, but not. Of course, you know how Samsung's S series works at this point. They're going to have 3 phones. They're going to have some distinctions. The Ultra is going to be the top. The base is going to come with a plastic back. The other one is going to be right in the middle. That'll be the Plus. As of now, the only thing we've come to know is that the telephoto, it looks like it's going to be the same. A 3x telephoto, 10 megapixels. That's pretty much what we know. And talking about the S series Plus, the S20 Plus, if you guys have seen my video, which I'll leave a card to here, some users, or at least a lot of users actually, have been facing issues after an update where the display started getting lines. We did a video about it and a lot of support from you guys. One of those people who was facing it created a petition that's been generating a lot of signatures, and Samsung has been addressing it, not out in the open, but at least from asking people 20,000 rupees for a display replacement. Now they're asking 2,000 or something like that. If you have a S20 Plus that's got the line issue, go ahead, check out that petition, sign it, get in contact with people who are already dealing with it. They have a Telegram group and all that. And if you've not signed the petition yet, please go ahead, do it. Just a little reminder. And also thanks to everybody who already did sign it and not come up with stupid useless polls, but that's neither here nor there. Now, moving on from, we saw Apple, we saw Samsung. Let's now jump to the Pixel 7 information. When they announced the next Android, they also did talk about the new Pixels coming up. The selfie camera is supposed to be able to do 4K video, and that's pretty much the only thing we have on it right now. Guys, the Pixels, of course, apart from the fact that it's going to use the next generation Tensor chip, that's pretty exciting for me because, right now it's pretty much a duopoly. Maybe there are 3 if you take Exynos into account, but beyond Qualcomm, MediaTek, and Samsung with their Exynos, there's really nothing. HiSilicon Kirin, not really useful. Unisoc here and there. All-winner ROG chips, they are basically only for TV boxes and retro handhelds and stuff like that. So it's nice to see Google actually have their own chip and do pretty well here. Second gen coming up. Fingers crossed. I really love my Pixel 6, so I might get my hands on a Pixel 7. I might buy one. Okay, now we talked about Qualcomm, so let's now talk about all the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8. Okay, before we go there, Qualcomm accidentally revealed the date for the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 announcement. So they actually put out a notice or whatever, an event notice, which was taken down soon after. Snapdragon Summit is supposed to be between November 14 to 17. So that's when we're going to be seeing the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 most probably. And the Gen 2, in case you weren't aware, it has a weird little combination. It's a 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3 as per rumors, which would make it, what is that, 2, 4, 5, 7 cores? I don't know. It's supposed to be one Cortex X3, that's the high-powered one, two A720s, two A710s, and three A510s for lower efficiency loads. Pretty exciting. Let's see how that works. Now, anyways, let's not talk about what is actually available. Not actually available, what is gonna be actually available. Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 Plus, that's the successor to the 8 Gen 1 that we've been seeing from multiple brands on multiple flagships. So the first phone we're gonna talk about right now is the ROG Phone 6. That's coming July 5th. It's supposed to be launching in India. Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, 8 Gen 1 Plus, 8 Plus Gen 1. All variants are gonna have that screen to the back this time. At least that's what rumors say. And guys, the ROG phones, they've held a special place in my heart. I love them. The ROG 5, the ROG 5S, they've been my go-to handheld gaming devices with the Kunai gamepad, and I'm really hoping they retain support for it. They seem to have tinkered around with that Aeroactive cooler. It looks a lot bigger from the pictures we've been seeing, so hopefully they have a new Kunai gamepad for it or something. It's really good. I mean, when you look at actual gaming devices, we are going to look at more gaming focused smartphones soon. So one thing that Asus has been doing well is they have the headphone jack, which I feel is really stupid for brands to cut out of a gaming phone. And they've also been continuously offering higher capacity batteries. Now the trend is going towards a little bit of a lower capacity with batteries on gaming phones, which I really don't like, because if you're going to market it as a gaming phone, it doesn't have to be sleek. It doesn't have to be light. That's not your demographic. If you want to build a sleek and light phone, go build a proper flagship. I mean, call it, this is a flagship. I mean, emphasize more on cameras. Now, when we ask you as a consumer, why isn't the camera, why doesn't have everything but the kitchen sink thrown at it? You can't say this is a gaming phone, so camera is not focused, and then come back and say, oh yeah, it's super slim, just 8 millimeters, and it's just 190 grams or something. We've got a 4500 milliamp hour battery. That is not a gaming phone. That's not what a mobile gamer probably wants. Any which ways, ROG typically is always held, I really love those phones. I've used them almost every day, the ROG 5, the ROG Phone 5S with the Kunai gamepad. So I can't wait to actually see the ROG Phone 6. Next brand, we're going to talk about Xiaomi 12S, 12S Pro, 12S Ultra. There are three phones that they've teased. They're going to be revealed real soon. And if you look at the Xiaomi 12, there are some things I liked about it. The 12 Pro, there are some things not so much. The 8 Gen 1 wasn't the easiest chip to cool, and Xiaomi had a hard time, let's say, taming the beast. With the 12 Pro, hopefully both Qualcomm and Xiaomi have done better with Xiaomi's 12S lineup. And the cameras, they've been pushing that envelope as much as possible with every generation. So that I'm really excited to see what they do with the 12S series. Talking about S series and Xiaomi, there is a Blackshark 5S and 5S Pro coming up. Again, their favorite 6.67 inch screen, Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. 64 megapixel main camera on the 5S, 108 megapixel main camera on the 5S Pro. And this is what I was talking about. The phone is supposed to be reasonably sleek with a 4800 milliamp hour battery. Doesn't sit well with me. Gaming phone, 4800 mAh. What do you guys think? Do you think it's okay to have a sub 5000 milliamp hour battery? I understand mAh does not mean everything. Optimizations play a role. A phone with a 7-inch screen or a 6.9-inch screen and 5000 mAh was a 6.67 and 4800, they might perform the same due to the differences in display sizes, but I still feel like thick and heavy, higher capacity battery, it's what would work better with a gaming phone. Any which ways, whatever you think, let me know in the comments below. Okay, moving on, we are getting started with the phone launch season, right? So we have more flagship phones coming. iQOO has their 10 Pro that should be launching soon. Again, Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, 6.78-inch AMOLED on this one, 1440p, 250 megapixel cameras to the back, one 14.6 megapixel sensor. So the camera setup might be, similar to the iQOO 9 Pro. I did love the fact that the iQOO 9 Pro, like this Vivo X80 Pro, it had that fingerprint scanner, so you can just scan your fingerprint very fast. It worked with it had a larger surface area for scanning. It was really quick. It would work with wet fingers and all that. So again, can't wait to see what they have to offer. There is another iQOO phone that's coming out that is supposed to have the Dimensity 9000 Plus. So iQOO is also launching a lot of phones. And one more phone that most people don't even know is gonna really be launching because it's a Lenovo, the Legion Halo. Now this is expected to launch somewhere in Q3. Again, no surprises, Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. That's pretty much what you're gonna expect, right? What you're gonna get. 6.67 inches, Full HD Plus, 50 megapixel main, 13 megapixel ultra wide, and a third sensor that could be macro, could be depth, I don't know. So this is yet another phone that is supposed to be launching soon. Now let's I've basically been just mentioning phone names and saying 8 Plus Gen 1. I keep getting confused, guys. 8 Gen 1 Plus, 8 Plus Gen 1. I'm so sorry. So anyways, let's actually talk about something that we know more about, and that would be the OnePlus 10T. So we've seen leaked pictures of this. It looks kind of sort of similar to a 10 Pro. Maybe if you're really drunk and you look at it, you think it's a 10 Pro. But the changes here that we know of, at least so far, there's no ceramic for the camera. It kind of melds into that background. The back, not the background. Melds into that back. Probably glass, maybe plastic, not sure. The display, it's expected to be flat. It's not going to have that curves to the edges, which I'm perfectly fine with. I don't see that as a downgrade. I like the curved edges, but I can live without them. That's fine. There are pros and cons to both. Charging is expected to be faster, 150 watts, but again, that's what we are seeing. But given that we've seen other phones launch with two variants, so maybe this could also have a 80 and 150 option. I don't know, lower capacity battery, 4800 milliamp hour. The camera, they're gonna omit the telephoto sensor. They're gonna have a 50 megapixel main with OIS, 16 megapixel ultra wide, and again, probably the third one would be a macro or depth. Now here's the controversial part. They're cutting the alert slider on this. Alert slider is something they're gonna be saving just for the Pro phones, which makes no sense whatsoever. Again, I'm not saying you should choose to buy or not buy a phone based on if it has an alert slider or not, but this feels very much like Samsung cutting out auto brightness sensors on their lower end phones, or removing haptic feedback despite having a haptic motor on their lower end phones. They used to do that a long time ago. This feels very much like that. It's not completely kicked in because the Nord 2T that is gonna go for sale very soon. It's launched in India. It's gonna go on sale pretty soon. That one has an alert slider. So if you want an alert slider, you don't want to spend on the OnePlus 10 Pro, that could be an option. Now the Nord 2T, I've already done an unboxing video on it. I got the global phone, I have done that. And in that video, I'll leave a card to that entire video if you want to watch it. But in that video, here's what I had to say about the price. Now, if they can keep the price unchanged from what the Nord 2 is selling at, I think this would be a decent mid-cycle refresh. But realistically though, what I do expect Oppo or OnePlus or whatever, what I expect them to do here is silently hike the price a little. I expect them to launch it at the same price as the Nord 2, but remove the 6128 option that we actually got with the Nord 2. So I expect the price of entry for the 2T to be a little higher. Shouldn't make a difference for markets like Europe, where the 6128 never launched, but for the Indian consumer, this could mean a silent price hike, which I have mixed feelings about. And that is kind of sort of what they've done. The Nord 2 started at 28,000 rupees. That's for the 6128. 8128 retailed at 30,000. Now the 2T is priced right in between. It's starting at 29,000 for the base, but the base this time is 8128. That is no 6128. So whether it's good or bad is depending on how you look at it. Now, if you're looking at it from the point of, hey, if this phone didn't exist, we'd still have to buy a Nord 2, in which case, hey, yes, you do theoretically get a better chip, the Dimensity 1300 Max, and ₹1,000 price cut if you were looking to buy the 8128. But if you were looking to buy the 6128, then you're paying an extra ₹1,000, getting 2 gigs of RAM that you really weren't thinking of getting, alongside, of course, the slightly improved Dimensity 1300 Max. So what do you think? This is good, bad? What do you think about it? Let me know in the comments. And now let's talk about nothing. For those saying this entire video has been about nothing, not that nothing, we're going to talk about the brand. The Nothing Phone 1 is expected to launch real soon as well. Now guys, this phone, it's got a lot of hype going for it. Everybody's talking about Nothing. There's pretty much a lot of hype that's being built, given that Carl Pei is at the helm of things. We've seen what he's managed to drum up for OnePlus. So that's no surprise, but how is it gonna be? Initially, we thought it might be another flagship killer of sorts, come out with a 8 Gen 1 or at least a 888 Plus or something, but it's launching with a Snapdragon 778G Plus, that's confirmed. Now, what's a little concerning for me is the fact that the European prices have been leaked via Amazon or on Amazon, I don't know. They've kind of sort of been leaked, and it's expected to start at 470 euros. Now, that converts to 39,000 Indian rupees. But euro prices do not, really convert that way. But if you look at something like the Poco F4, the European price is 399 euros. That sells for about 30,000 rupees in India. So going by that math, Poco, do the math. Going by that, maybe they'd price the Nothing Phone 1 at 35. I don't know. I would honestly, for a 778G Plus, would it be okay paying 35 for? I mean, of course, there's a lot of other cool things on about the phone. The design is really, really cool, and I can't wait to get my hands on it to test it, see how it actually performs. And no, that doesn't have an OLED slider either. Of course, just messing around. So, anyways, what do you think if it launches for around 35,000 rupees? For a Snapdragon 778G Plus, would you be okay paying for it, given everything else that it might offer, which I don't know what, but maybe if they offer more. For me personally, again, it's their first product. The first OnePlus product, it had Cyanogen, right? And then it didn't really get updated because they had a falling out with Cyanogen. The second OnePlus product was the OnePlus 2. Did the OnePlus X come in between? I don't remember, but the OnePlus 2 had Snapdragon 810 issues, and Oxygen OS had teething issues. Now, are we going to see something similar happen with the Nothing Phone 1? Anyways, let's see what they price it at and what kind of software promises they make. That's going to largely push me into if I really like it or if I don't. That's going to play a major part. So, anyways, what else? Realme has a collaboration with Marvell. There's a special edition Love and Thunder GT Neo 3 150 watts that's going to be available from July 7th. I don't know exactly what they're going to be offering extra with it, but probably it's going to be the same price. It's going to be the highest spec, highest Q or something. Not much more is known at this point. And there are some Galaxy Watch 5 screenshots that leaked, which I will link to in the description below. And that is pretty much all the news I have for this week. So guys, what do you think about this format? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you want to see me do something? Tweak something? Let me know in the comments. This is just a video I wanted to do because I don't cover all products anymore. I'm not trying to cover everything possible because I'm not in India anymore. So it's very difficult for me to get my hands on these devices. Brands do send them, but what happens typically is for the mid-rangers and for the budget phones, they end up getting it very, very late because the cycle is much faster. Unlike, say, a Vivo X80 Pro, which I bought, but that's different. Something like this, where they launch a new flagship once every 6 months. With mid-rangers, they launch 1 or 2 every month, which means the cycle is much faster, which means the review units, they get it at pretty much the last minute. And then having to ship it internationally becomes a huge problem. I did try, but pretty much everything I ended up getting it very late, so I couldn't cover it. So now I'm focusing more on phones that have at least 6 months of life, as in the successor is going to take at least 6 months for the brand to launch. Those are the products I'm focusing on, but at the same time, I don't want to not talk about everything else. It's also a little ironic given everything I've spoken about in this video is only flagship stuff. I'm sorry. It didn't even strike me till I started ad-libbing this part. But anyways, that's what we are here for. Let me know what else you would like for me to talk about, and any kind of feedback you have for me, let me know in the comments below. And the video going forwards would not wrap at this point. This is where I would take questions from you guys and from the previous week and answer that. So hashtag WWAsh. Go ahead, use that, tweet any questions after, let's say I'm gonna shoot this on a Friday, so midweek, Wednesday, Thursday, go ahead, shoot out questions and I will definitely try to answer that. So anyways, if you've made it this far, thank you for your time. Thanks for spending your time watching this mug. So until next time, my name's Ash, you've been watching C4E Tech, and I'm signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.